Alliance candidate for Newry.ie, Helena Young. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself?
Yes, Paul. Well, I am born and bred in Newry. I have 4 adult sons and 8 grandchildren. I have lived in Newry all my life, brought up my kids. I've been heavily involved in community work during my time in Newry, and I'm a Meadow woman, so I'm from the Meadow. I've lived in other places, but I'm like a boomerang. I've ended up back there again. So I'm a very proud Newry woman, and I think that Newry is a fantastic place. It really irks me when I hear people being negative about Newry, because Newry is a fantastic place with fantastic people, and I really think that we should be able to lift Newry, and I'm hoping that in the future, if elected, that I'll be able to support with doing that.
Where do you stand on accountability, openness and transparency in the council?
Well, Alliance has always been really focused on openness and transparency. In fact, our councillor, Patrick Brown, who's now an MLA, really pushed for filming of council meetings and audio recording of working groups and committees. Now, I completely understand that some things do have to remain confidential. However, other parties pushed back on that, so that didn't happen. We also believe in declaring our interests and our expenses as well, just so the ratepayers know how their money's being spent.
Perhaps a controversial one. Where do you stand on Park or new council offices?
Absolutely not controversial for me. Park the whole way. I've been part of the campaign for the Park for the last 6 years, and when I'm out on the doors and even prior to the election campaign, just engaging with people in day-to-day life, people really want the Park. Overwhelmingly, the majority of people I speak to are not in favour of the Civic Centre. And on a more personal note, when the motion for the park went through in 2017, which was actually put through by our Patrick Brown from Downpatrick, an Alliance councillor, not even a councillor from Newry, backed by Gary Stokes and David Taylor, the motion was passed, and I was absolutely elated because I thought, this is fantastic, we're going to get this park in the next couple of years. At that stage in 2017, October, November, I had 2 grandchildren. The youngest one was a year old, and I was so excited at the prospect of being able to take him to the Albert Basin Park. Alfie will now be 7 in October, and there's not a blade of grass on the Albert Basin. So it's highly frustrating, and I am hoping that if elected, that I can really be part of pushing to ensure that our park is delivered, because the people of Newry want a park and the people of Newry deserve a park.
Well, if elected, and Park aside, what would you like to do, or what do you want to do to improve Newry City?
Well, first and foremost, I would want to be there for the constituents and the people who put their trust in me by giving me their vote. Despite not being an elected councillor for the last 4 years, I have been supporting people and groups across our community and achieving positive outcomes quite a lot of the time, despite not having that leverage as a councillor. So that will be first and foremost as well, working for the people. But again, I would like to see civic pride lifted in Newry. I would like to see Newry cleaned up. I spoke about the negativity about Newry. People are fed up because the streets are dirty. The services aren't being provided, and I just think that we really do need a local voice to champion for Newry. I really want to be a champion for Newry, because everything and everyone I care for is in this city, and I want to work with everyone for everyone. So I would really be looking forward to doing that.
Okay, and finally, why should people vote for Alliance as opposed to other parties?
Well, in Newry specifically, we haven't had an Alliance councillor for nearly 50 years, so people could actually help me to make history by electing me. We've had the same options, for many, many years. In fact, I stood for the election in 2019, and my only priority at that stage was to raise the profile of Alliance, because we hadn't had Alliance in Newry, and I went into that election with 0 expectations and missed a seat by 41 votes, which was absolutely amazing. The last 4 years I've been on the ground, I've been working hard, and I just think the people should really be giving Alliance a chance. We're not just a cross-community party, we're an all-community party. So I'll work again, as I said, for everyone, with everyone. So on the 18th of May, I would ask the people of Newry to put their trust in me as your Alliance candidate and give me your number one vote. If I am not your number one, please give me a preference, because every vote counts in this election. Let's make a change, because Alliance works.